I thought I'd just make a quick video about what do I like about Spokane. I spend a lot of time on my channel making jokes and poking fun at Spokane, but in all honesty, I love living here. Of course, every town has its quirks and things to know about it and whatnot, but I've grown up in Spokane my entire life, except for that stint I took in Chicago for a few years, but we don't need to talk about that. Uh, but as far as things that I really genuinely love about living here, and things I think that you don't quite get in other places, even though they might say that they do. I love the coffee culture here. There is a bit of an air of snobbery, which just comes with being in the Pacific Northwest when it comes to things like coffee and beer. Speaking of beer, we like hoppy beer. A lot of us do. It tends to be a bit more hoppy than you might get in other places. But of course, there's always a variety. There's lots of things to be out and enjoy, to try, to do. A lot of people, at least in the comment sections, seem to complain about there's nothing to do in Spokane or whatnot, and that seems kind of silly to me because there seems like too much to choose to do from. And maybe that's because I'm a dad and I don't have lots of time on my hands anyway. So it's always more like, well, what can I do with the little time that I have? Trying to find a babysitter and problems like that. But as far as actually like doing things, like of course there's lots of restaurants in Spokane. It seems like ever since about, I'm just going to guess and say 10 years ago, and it seemed like the town kept on blowing up and getting bigger. There's just lots of options when it comes to trying foods from all over the world, or even just local cuisine. And so I guess a lot of things I like to do are around food. But of course, people talk about the local things to do. And if you're not from here, the big events are Bloomsday, which is I guess people go run for fun or something like that. But all seriousness, it is a big event for the year, big race. 3-on-3 basketball is really big for Hoop Fest. Then we have different, Pig Out in the Park is another one. So if you're talking about the big events of the year, we have a few of those. The Lilac Festival. And then if you're looking for places like adventures and hikes and lakes and stuff like that, there's lots of that here. So there is lots to do in Spokane. But the things that I love to do, really they're around food. I love getting coffee with my friends. I love being snobby about it. I love trying different beers and wines and coffees. I'm more of a black coffee guy myself, so I'm going to have lots of black coffee with no sugar or no cream. But there's lots of different kinds to try, and I'm really happy about that. So anyway, hopefully that was a not too horrible of a rant to listen to, but I do enjoy my town. If you have questions about it, I'd love to hear them, and we'll go from there. Reach out if you want to go buy a home or just say hi.